going to conduct. So we are this is the second of the webinar series which IRF India chapter is conducting. First was on the smart equipment. The second, continuing the same thing, we since it's a very big area, vast area, there multiple things are still left for the smart and intelligent machineries, the equipment, construction equipment, the monitoring tools like drones, like robotics, satellite imagery, and many more things. On the great demand of the people that this one more session should be on this, we had come up with the second series of the topic on the same second webinar on the same topic. We have with us a very eminent panel of all experts, starting from Mr. Amit K. Sinha. He is an IPS officer from Uttarakhand, 1987 batch, a very well-known officer in the, I mean, apart from the very um, fearless police officer and having a lot of awards and other things, we'll be discussing more on this. He is having a strong neck of the technology, and I, as an advisor to the Uttarakhand government on IT matters, has the privilege of meeting him very frequently. I can see his interest for the technology, the latest technologies. For example, drone, he has done a lot of work on that. One of his initiative was, in fact, seen by Prime Minister himself, that Navnetra. Will be explaining on that. We'll be discussing when he talks about it. Second panelist is Mr. Amit Sinha. He is the regional head of Trimble, who is doing a lot of work on the smart machineries and the satellite imagery, how these IoT devices are used to depict the field data. And third panelist is Abhijit Pandey. Abhijit is from the company Gainwell. Gainwell Commerce Sales Private Limited, and their expertise is again in the smart and intelligent machineries. We have a very interesting and engaging panel. I will be just setting a tone in 2-3 minutes. What actually the smart machinery, when we talk about it, means, and what do we expect. So I hope my screen is visible. Very quickly, I will set the context of our today's webinar so that everybody is on the same page when we start discussing on this. You see, a lot of technologies are now being used for the entire highway or the construction industry as a whole. The smart materials, sustainable materials are coming up. Your softwares, project management softwares are smarter, operation and maintenance are smarter. Then why not machinery should also be smart? Because ultimately that is the backbone. And this helps not only in the real time status from the project side, what is happening, but it also removes the challenges of project delay and the cost overrun, which is one of the major factor. And as per the Government of India Ministry of Statistics data, roughly 41% of the projects, the big projects, are having the cost the overruns and time overruns. And apart from this sustainable, I mean, these delays are not environmentally friendly also, but they degrade the environment also. And here, if we have the good equipment, intelligent equipment, they utilize the materials very optimally, just thus making it more sustainable and environment friendly. What are the trends or the innovations which are currently happening? Our experts will be talking around these. Uh, Artificial intelligence, which is very well known. It's now every sector there is AI. Yesterday I was talking on this AI in a conference in the World Telecom Day. AI has a presence everywhere, from health sector to fintech to the construction. So the construction equipment, the moment AI is put, the optimization predictions becomes very, very a different level. So how this is being used, we'll be talking on this. Internet of Things, another feature which has come up, which is gaining very big momentum. And as per the studies, by 2030, almost 70% of the equipment, machineries, house and home appliances, and things will be connected with an IoT device. This is the prediction of NASSCOM and many experts. So, and that means the people things are almost real time connected. You get the data directly from the site or through these IoT devices. Machine learning, it gives you forecasting and predictions, helps in decision making. So, I mean, this is one of the bottleneck. It solves resolves that bottleneck of delay in decision making and all. Big data analytics is the outcome. When we do analytics, we come to know what are the trend, where we can optimize, what can be best done for the next project to further reduce the time and cost in that. Generally, what are the benefits of it? Obviously, it enhances the efficiency, quality is improved because very high precision, very less chance of error, risk management is there, then real-time data we get. So the decision making is very fast. We come to know whether paver is working on the ground or no. The drone is telling you what is the progress actually, instead of somebody reporting on a pen and paper or through Excel sheet. So these things helps you in almost real-time data to take the decision. And naturally safety improvements. For example, if high-rise building, as it is happening in many advanced countries, like I saw in Dubai, the drone, I mean, even the cleaning of fascia and the high-rise buildings is being done through drone. The quality check is being done by high precision camera fitted into the drones. The satellite imagery, another Amit will be talking about, which maps and tells the even growth of the plants, how it happens. So there are many things. These improves the safety, and people are not supposed to go to the places which are difficult or inhabitable kind of thing. Similarly, uh, I mean, there are a few case studies we just checked when discussing whether what should be the relevance of this topic. So you can see the drone or these things can reduce the survey time by 50%. Instead of a person going physically there, mapping this, especially for the highway projects, the moment you go on a drone, the visibility or the idea from a height taken is an entirely different level, and gives you better comprehension about the projects. So it reduces time. AI powered prediction module, like in maintenance, the machines themselves say that, yeah, my maintenance is due or my oil is depleting and these things. So the industry, this is the study done by McKinsey, says nearly 30% reduction in the equipment downtime is there if you use. And IoT, of course, helps for the better site management or in getting the knowledge. But there are certain challenges. The challenges are the moment you put this technology into the equipment or make them smart, the cost goes high. So who is going to bear it? What will be the ROI? That is a serious challenge. And the top management who still haven't seen the benefit of this, they generally are hesitant. So how they are being convinced, or what should be the pitch to them, that can also, I will request our experts to talk on. The skill gap. Um, I mean, for this, you require a different kind of skill on the ground to operate these things. That is still lacking. So more capacity building training programs are required. Integration with the existing system, because if you somebody is having SAP, then data should seamlessly flow into that system and helps, rather than creating another weird system which is difficult for people to understand and cope up with. And then what are the solutions? So initial cost can always be muted through a different funding incentive, and a lot of work is going on this training development and industrialization. So and these are certain things, but there are few more topics which I just want to give a glimpse. For example, metaverse. I just witnessed a project at my recent visit to Geneva, where the planning is now DPR is being made through metaverse, and you can fit everything. They were putting a very complex structure on a metaverse and checking with the different parameters when what should be the when which is the best and optimal design. So metaverse is another very helpful thing. Blockchain and 5G, these are the upcoming things which are going to make IoT and these and equipments even more smarter and intelligent. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will not take much time. A lot of people has already joined. Our experts are here. So I have set the tone for the presentation. The thing which we are going to talk. I will request, as per this program, Amit has to start in the first presentation. But let me, I understand Mr. Sinha, since he is a busy officer. If he is available, probably he had some meeting. So, Mr. Sinha, do you want to start first?
Yeah,
Because,
actually,
or
I
otherwise,
wanted to
as
start with
you
yes.
feel convenient.
Yeah, thank you. In fact, I rather say I don't know why you invited me. Firstly, because the way you introduced me it was
No,
more
no,
of a police
your
thing.
topic
But
is very much relevant. That road,
yes,
Dark
yes,
Lake.
yes.
So you
Thank
have
you.
to talk about it. But your voice is a little not.
Now, am
You
I
can put
audible
your
now?
mic nearby.
Am I, am I audible now?
You are audible, but to me it looks a little low. You need to.
Okay. So let me come near the. Rather, I can join from an. I mean, can I come here to this speaker? Just check. Is it okay
Do you,
now? Is
do
it
you
okay
want to
now?
present something, or should I
No, no,
start with you first?
I'll just speak because see, my perspective is a pure government perspective.
Yeah, certainly we want government perspective only.
Yes, and why I'm saying this because see, in as I have seen the infra development, government infra development is far more than what we do it in private sector, and rather I would say that government actually requires smart and intelligent innovations in their infra development, which we actually don't do. So our role is to at least incorporate the basic things of infra development, basic things of smart innovations, in smart innovations incorporated into our infra development, which we don't do.
So,
As CEO,
Stina, if you are starting first because of your, so let me just introduce you to our audience. You are such a decorated officer. I will give a small brief about you to our audience and everyone who are listening. Sumit, you can put the that profile of Mr. Sinha. Otherwise, I am telling. Mr. Sinha is a 97 batch IPS officer and IIT Roorkee alumni. He has been a gold medalist over there, has done a lot of work in a very prestigious appointment at Uttarakhand, right from ASP, Bareilly, Muradabad, all important places. Then as SP, he is a fearless officer who in fact arrested Sundarlal Bahuguna, the stalwart personality. When no, go to Mr. Sinha. Yeah, that slide, yes. Um, yeah. So he and as a DIG, IG, now he is ADG administration. Parallelly, he is special secretary of sports and a very good sports person. I know he recently visited Mongolia and won some medals there as well. And he, in addition to this, he has a list is very long. So I won't be taking so much time. Is one of the most decorated police officer from Uttarakhand government. So over to you, Mr. Sinha. You can talk about your things for 10 to 15 minutes. Then I have requested our audience already, and I will again request our audience. Please put your question into the chat box. I will be taking on your behalf with Mr. Sinha, either immediately or at the end of the presentation. Yeah, over to you, Mr. Sinha.
Thank you. Thank you. Why I'm saying that government actually required basic interjection for this smart and intelligent innovation into the infrastructure development. I had been, as you said, that
let us listen to, yeah. Yes. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes. So when I joined here in Uttarakhand, we had this Tehri Dam agitation going on. And the moment I joined Tehri, it was in year 2001, February. And there we had this feeling that the dam will not be able to build because the way the agitation was going on, nobody wanted dam. People wanted different things. Sundarlal Bhamura was looking for, he was shouting about environmental pollution and the melting of glaciers. So then, at that point of time, how we diffused agitation and finally we made the Tehri Dam happen on that ground. I think the basic started from there only. When we used cameras, see, why I said basic input of smart thing into infra development. We started building that network of cameras, although there was no network when I joined there. Then we started putting big cameras, जो शादियों में यूज होते थे कैमरा, उनको हमने यूज करना शुरू किया एजुकेशन में, और उसके फीड को लेके फिर हम लोगों ने पूरे एजुकेशन को बंद किया और डैम वाला बनना शुरू हुआ. Anyway, I'm actually coming to the main point because this is for infrastructure development, and that was for the infrastructure development I used cameras. Here, why I'm saying this, because when I joined ITD, because I had a 5-year stint as a director of IT of the state, where I tried to introduce a concept called data lake, and it was you, Mr. Akhilesh, with whom actually I teamed up with him because he had done a lot of good works in NHAI. He had, in fact, I had gone to see how NHAI worked on that data lake. So we tried to copy that. Rather, in fact, we started creating this PM Gati Shakti portal into a data lake portal. And I would say by the time I left that part, it was 30% developed. So what I say that it's very important to educate our government officials how to incorporate smart and intelligent sensors, cameras, portals, how we can use those some sort of AI system to analyze those big data. Because what happens that in government we have this habit of keeping very impure data. When I tried firstly to have various kinds of data from all departments, I had terabytes of data in JPEG format. There were many video formats. I mean, some MPEG data, some other formats of videos were also there. So it was actually very tough to. Our data lake just became a compilation of data, and we could not able to solve actually the problem, and we could not able to analyze what we are actually going to solve. So then we decided that it's better that we should educate our men to firstly have this sense of giving good data and data with some header, because this is the basic thing which is lacking in our field officers, that they have this habit of just sending the data without any header. So we just don't at the level of data center, it becomes very tough to analyze those data. See, I can understand the quality of data lake is to actually do away with all these problems, and they start analyzing data even if it is in raw form or various other forms. But it is always suggestive to educate our men. So I think that this intervention of a smart and intelligent system should also be seen with a good amount of training to the field officers. Because see, what happens is this is a very big game changer. The moment you start training your men, only infra development is one thing. Maybe the training part would require only 1 or 2% of your total budget, but it will give a big fillip to your total, what you can say, outcome. The major change will happen in the outcome if you give this just 1 or 2% of amount in training those men. So this thing I realized while I was doing this data lake for my ITDA PM Gati Shakti project. Then, in fact, we had a lot of good things also. The best part was that our inter-department communication started. Earlier, we could not be able to, because see, if PWD is making a road and forest has some problem, then the forest is not talking to PWD because they all have to talk to some other portal. They had this habit of talking offline. So this PM Gati Shakti and our data lake project, they both merged together to create a portal in which at least 16 departments used to coordinate with each other. So this was again a big, what you can say, change in our total way of working. The application was web-based, so engineers who are in a remote location can also access. And it had a role-based dashboard also. And it had an advanced alert system also. It was very easy to upload data on data lake. In fact, what we tried later that we started putting drone feed also onto that data lake. And in fact, we had given proper latitude, longitude, and altitude for that particular drone so that it can click a picture or make a video of that particular building from a certain direction. And every month, that picture can be compared. So why I'm saying this, it was a very crude, smart and intelligent innovation, very crude I can say, but still it becomes a game changer as far as the government is concerned, because government is not of the habit of using such things. Apart from drone footage, I think we also try to put some we discussed things with AI experts because we actually had a plethora of huge petabyte of data of various categories. I mean, if you actually look at the big data concept of velocity, variety, and volume, so it was a volume-wise, it was a huge data. So we actually failed to gather those data. So we tried to connect. In fact, if some solutions of that kind can be made, then it would be very helpful for government functionaries like us. So this I wanted to talk about. I think from my side, this I want to discuss. I don't know whether it is sufficient or not.
No, perfect. Thank you very much, Mr. Sinha. In fact, you are the real user and you had a neck towards technology adding. So what you rightly said, see, this is how development takes place. Earlier, people used to send letters when phone was not there. So the communication was through, when phone came, then they started talking phone and some improvement took place. In your data lake, there was no phone requirement. It is on the cloud. So the moment it is uploaded, other person is looking at it. And then alert is also coming. So it's an instant. And this is how, and now AI is coming at, it will forewarn people. So fantastic use case. You just tell about Navnetra also before you close, which was.
Yeah, because in fact, we tried to, we made a portable drone vehicle on which we have created one big van into a portable drone vehicle, which can go to a remote disaster area. And there it had a proper RF connectivity latched to the rig, and it had drone system also into it. So if there is a disaster, the vehicle will go, the vehicle will go, it will fly a drone from there, it will get a picture of what has happened there, and it will feed on a real time to district headquarters to wherever, because it will then come into the network connectivity, because the vehicle has all the wherewithal, all the latest technologies into it. So it was a very good innovation. In fact, I had this opportunity of meeting the Prime Minister also, and the Honorable Prime Minister also liked it, and he liked the idea of Navaratna. So, in fact, it was not because of, I must say that we also tried to add that Navaratna feed into our data lake mode. So finally, what you can say that it actually matured our data lake. This Navaratna matured our data lake.
So thank you, Mr. Sinha, very much. And in fact, for Uttarakhand, it is very much required. Often you
Yes.
find landslide, the road is closed, you do not know what is other side. So here, if drone flies, goes to other side, start sending the picture, you know how to clear the passage and quickly restore the things. So thank you.
And we have used it in many disasters. We have used it in many disasters.
Yes. So thank you. I hope it was very insightful and everybody must have liked it. I will request our audience to please put your questions in chat bot. I will take it after this. And Mr. Sinha, thank you. You can
Thank you.
go to other thing, but try
Thank
to be here only. And if some questions are there, we will ask you. But you can carry your work. That important. I
Thank
know
you.
it's election time and you senior police officer are very busy with that. Thanks for sparing your
Thank
time.
you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now we have a second office presentation by Sri Amit Saxena. He is a regional uh, sales head of Trimble. And we had been knowing Amit since very, very long time. And an amazing, expert into this domain. He heads not only India, but he heads the entire SAARC region, as you can see. The sectors which he is looking after is road, defense, land record, construction, and a very, very vast experience of over 25 years. So Amit, without taking much time, now floor is yours. Please give your presentation. Audience are again requested to please put your questions in chat bot. Chat box will be asking at the end of the presentations.
Please let me know, sir, if you see my screen, and accordingly
Yes,
can.
I can see. Yes, and you are audible also.
Okay. So everyone, very valuable inputs given by both Mr. Akhilesh and Mr. Amit Sinha. I will try and build some sort of solution that Mr. Sinha was looking at. My topic today is primarily on how, fundamentally the sensors are changing over the period of time, but also my experience from both design and contractor and survey side. I am covering some part of it in my first part of the slides, so that you get benefits of how not only smart but intelligent form of working can help in the field. Currently, we all know this is a very good slide in which we understand the complexity of our projects, the next speed at which we want to execute the projects, the quality that we are looking at, the skill, nature of requirement of the projects with the requirement of infrastructure development growing up. And more importantly, for everyone, including the government and the contractor and the people who are actually in the field, including the survey group, their profits are fading away because of the traditional use of technology. Now, in terms of the manufacturing and construction, we can see that manufacturing has become very profitable over the period of time. And it happened because of the processes that they adopted about 20, 30 years back, which was primarily based on the adoption of the technology. We have adopted a lot of technologies on the construction side, but I think there are fundamental issues that we need to work on. I have tried to bring these slides in a form where I can give you the nature of issues that we have. On the survey and the design side, there is a challenge that we have seen, and this is the feedback coming from our customers, that there is always a challenge to have survey data acceptance across the entire life cycle of the project. Preliminary survey and the detailed survey, there is always a gap in the quality of data being collected. Integrity issues, whether the data was collected properly or not. Design facing challenges with accuracy of this data when they go out and start construction, or even while they are doing the preliminary and detailed survey. More importantly, how do we use this data, design data, which is the basis for any project in the field with highest level of confidence. And while using this data, how the construction is being carried out, and what are the changes that have to be made back into the design depending upon the local conditions. And we have many examples where these technologies are getting adopted, but this is a very simple aspect where we can work on. On the construction side, there are quality challenges with the machines at the construction side. Obviously, there are productivity challenges in terms of the cost rising on the field, the raw material cost, and the equipments which are quite expensive. And I'm sure Abhijit will talk about them. Update of design after the actual construction has taken place. Safety of the resources who are at work in the field. And last but not the least, positioning data integrity on the construction side as well. On the operations and maintenance, as we progress, there are always issues with the scheduling, effective resource planning, rising costs, maintenance, and many other things. So I will cover everything in my slides, and hopefully we find some solutions in the field. One of the key areas that we are working on is the working of how we ensure that design and back office team, which is in the office, and the survey field team are working, in a seamless manner. So we have found a way wherein, if we start a project from the office rather than giving the entire access to the design, to the field, I think that saves a lot of time. As soon as the surveyor is in the field, the project where he is collecting the data can be verified almost in a real-time basis without waiting for either email or pen drives or any other form in which the data is being transferred. So this is a very unique value proposition that we have. So our project starts from the office, which is on the left-hand side. It's only a file. When the survey team goes into the field, they need two things. One, verification of the data in the first few hours of collection of data. Secondly, the design is also given to them while they're in the field. They can load that design file, whether it is in the form of scanned, copy, or they have actual design model which they can verify. And I will show you some videos that will help you understand this. Last but not the least, we have also seen that people moving from one technology to another while working on it. So for example, people will use a design modeling software, which is a necessity. They will use different sensors in the field, like we were talking about, whether it is a GPS sensor, which is much better in collecting the land data than a total station, which is a traditional form. Recently, just now, Mr. Akhilesh was talking about, our mode of communication was through, letters earlier, but now we do emails, and now even we are moving to a next stage wherein we just, record our messages and forward it to the concerned person. Similarly, here we have seen minimum level of changes that are happening, wherein the communication between the design and the survey field is continued to be used in a very rudimentary way. And also the reliability of the data is not there. So we need to move on further from total session based land survey and few other areas. I'm not saying totally ruling out that part, but yes, it could be minimized because of the global coordinate system on which GPS and GNSS devices work today. So they are more accurate, and the sanity of data is higher. Now, in the field team has got the design on their system while they're in the field, and they're working on it. And the data integrity is very higher. Any data that they are getting in the field is in a real time, almost in a real time basis, is being sent to the design office, so that there is no time is being wasted for them to start working on the project rather than waiting for the project for the survey data to come. Then they analyze the data. Then if there is a gap, the survey team will go back. So resurvey cost can be reduced. So this is a very simple technology that can be done. And at the same time, all these things can be shared with the stakeholder for getting necessary approvals rather than waiting for unnecessary paperwork and number of days being spent in the emails. We have seen from our customers that the survey crew sends out the survey data in the form of emails. And after 4 or 5 months, there are so many emails that it's very hard to take care of that kind of data. Moving on with the so these are the devices that are used. Now, the classic example is here, wherein, we can work on we can work on, a model which is being created in a modeling software at a central place within the office. That modeling software, you don't need a modeling software for using the survey data along with it. The model can be straight away imported into the central engine that I was talking about. And just as an example, how it could be shared with the field. In this case, there are two sections that are currently being used. And those two sections, once they are selected in a technology called Trimble Business Center, it can be embedded into a project that I was talking about. And here you can see that the file with some level of geo-coordinate information is being added to the project. And with a click of few buttons, that folder goes directly into the field through the cloud services. So here we are utilizing lot much ease to share the data in the field. Which file, how it was sent, when it was sent can always be avoided between different stakeholders. See, in click of button, the job file has been updated, and the coordinate systems, which are global coordinate systems, are also being done. And now, right now, it's embedded into the system. You can see the orange color ones, which are the new files, and they're saying, okay, create and send it across. So just this kind of technology can help you integrate your design and survey data with ease. So this is done. Now, next level of information is, how you verify that. It's a new job that is being built. When we go to the field, this is the field access. Straight away, you can see on the right-hand side, once you refresh it, this symbol will change. They have, two job files which are embedded, and you can download them, and you see different symbols. So both the sections are now actually in the field on the controller that the person is using. This kind of data is now visible to them. And we can make different options, whether it is a DXF file or IFC. We can decide on the basis of our requirements. See, this string is available there. Now, in the background, we have also seen that people use different kind of technologies, including Google, etc. That also is not required. On the field itself, there is a facility of Trimble Maps, which is being updated quite regularly. The same can be viewed in a different layer and check the validity of this data. Further, we can also, at the backdrop, you can see Trimble Maps is being used. And that's how you can visualize whether the design that they have created, it is fitting onto the site. And also, when we start doing the integration of other sensors, like in this case, the scanning is being used to capture the data which is actually physically present in the field, and they are being placed in different layers. So you can actually visualize the scan data which is actually in the field, and also the model here. So it's just a simple task for a person to have a look, and at any point of time they can switch on and switch off these layers to check whether the integrity of data is maintained or not. So I'll keep on moving. So here they are accepting and uploading the work. So we don't need to wait for the work to be done. And in this case, the inspection and the scan data is also being verified at the same time. In terms of the next level of requirement is how the physical to digital and digital to physical world and integrity is being done. Very simple task, as I was talking about. The data will be captured at a very high speed and also with highly accurate data. You can take data from drone, mobile lidars, GNSS, total station, and any kind of sensors that are available, and bring them to at the same place. And without disturbing the overall workflow, through the single system, we are able to generate the data. Same goes for digital to physical. We were talking about MR. We have a technology wherein you just need to in a model, just load the model and start placing the QR codes. And once you start doing the construction, and when you stick those QR codes on the side, and when you scan through our technology, you are able to visualize how the construction will look like in comparison with the floor plan or 2D drawing or with the 3D model. This is a classic example. I will just play quickly. There is a sound in it. But I know there is a time that I am maintaining. This is a good example wherein the scanning has been taking place. of a actual site of bridge construction. And in this case, the same machine could be used for doing the total station survey, then doing the scanning, and then we integrate both design and the scan data at one place and check how the systems are behaving. See, now the model and the point cloud data is being integrated in this case. So you can verify the checks and work on it. And these kind of outputs can be easily generated, wherein if there is a we can check the height of the scan data or the bridge, and that can be done very quickly. Further, we can do the automatic classification of system, including buildings, vegetation, wire lines, electrical lines, poles, etc. Even the feature extraction for the environmental concerns, we can have a number of trees available in a project. What is the girth that can also be calculated. In terms of one of the interesting concept, I think I can move on with this, is another real-time monitoring example of a Tapi bridge in Surat, wherein our systems are working with integrating multiple sensors. And this is a very nice example wherein multiple geotechnical and geodetic sensors were used, in which you can see on the right-hand side, including the GPS data, automatic total station, there are weather data, seismographs, crack meter, extensometer, stress sensors. They were all integrated to a Trimble technology so that you can generate reports. This is the actual site wherein the total stations were also mounted to capture the movements and any other anomaly that we see on the site. And this is the view from the total station, and this is the bridge that we are talking about. And they have created a structural health monitoring system control room. And these kind of reports are being generated at one single place, wherein you can see the number of sensors. If you can see on the left hand side that are being connected, there are about 91 sensors that are connected of different types, and the kind of reports that are being generated are also amazing. See, this kind of reports are there, so you can see where all the sensors are being mounted, whether they are on the cable or below that. And also these are the the targets that are being placed on the bridge. So all these things, once we connect with the system, automatically the data is collected in our central place, and you can define the parameters within which the alarm will not go off, and as soon as there is a anomaly, the alarm will go off or a SMS can be triggered. Now, moving on to the construction side, I think what we are looking at is moving from a conventional construction to data-driven digital construction, wherein we integrate the heavy equipment machines with our positioning technologies, and wherein we are removing the human safety hazards, stakes and strings, and daylight constraints which are normally being seen, and also the accuracy is not being achieved. So what we are doing is again the same technology being used to feed the data back into the machines. And we have very good example in terms of the highway that is being constructed near Lucknow, wherein the work and the 3D machine technology is being used using our systems. And you can see that they are faster, accurate, and this is a very good example wherein the work is happening at night, which was not possible earlier because of the positioning technology. The blades of the system moves as per the GNSS sensors being controlling the movement and placement of of these blades. So these are machine guided systems which are in the field. And if we are looking at the next part is compaction and paving, wherein we see 20% saving, and these are coming directly from the field. And this is a very good example of the conventional form. This data comes from the project itself, and I think Vijit probably would be covering this, but I'm just giving you a highlight. With the conventional way and with the Trimble gradient control method, you can see there is a cost which is being reduced more than half, with all the costs being taken as per the, whether it is a diesel cost consumed in terms of the runs that are happening, or it is a fine grading cost, which is, changing, or the number of, charges that are taken for the grader hire in terms of cost per hour. So there is a saving of, very high saving in terms of using our technology with the grades. And there are different steps at which the saving can happen. With a limited time, I can talk about some of these, but there are many other areas where we can work upon. And we can have all these kind of benefits that are already been discussed, with me in the past. And last but not the least, we take care of the environmental parameters through our multiple technologies. And these are the sensors which we talk about. And if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer them. This is what I have today, sir.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. I think you explained the thing in very detail, and I didn't see. I think some questions are there. We'll be taking it. I think after at the end of the presentations.
No problem, sir. Thank you.
And it was very exhaustive. I think audience must have learned a lot today. Now, moving to our third presentation today evening, to Mr. Abhijit. Abhijit is are you presentation ready, Abhijit? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Abhijit is an engineer with a master's in the marketing management and he is having 32-year very long experience and served in many renowned organizations like Kirloskar, Ingersoll, Voltas, Volvo, and now he is heading business at Ganbel for allied business with the products from the Lintech and Lenovo holdings in that company. So he's a business head. Let him to speak about, tell about the product. He's an expert. You can see he spearheaded a lot of new technology product throughout his career, from micro surfacing machine, from Ethylene to the Eurotech concrete and many more. So without taking much time, I will request Abhijit, please take over and start your presentation.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Basically, I would be sharing it in two parts. One is Gainwell, what we are doing in Gainwell, and second is on the Trimble, because Cytec is one of our group companies where we deal in Trimble products for the projects, and what Mr. Amit has shown us, this was exactly what I was going to discuss. So he has covered a good amount of my slides, so it's good for me. So I will start with Gainwell first. Gainwell is a CAD dealer. Earlier it was known by the name of TIPL in India, and then it has been come in India as Gainwell after Mr. Sunil Kumar Chaturvedi took over the company. And if you see, we have got 1,800 dedicated people working for Caterpillar and promoting its equipment throughout the region. Active machine population is 22,500. Out of that, engine population is 13,000. Revenue done is 370 million. Inventory again of 30 million. Gainwell is also associated with other brands other than Caterpillar. That is where Lintech, Lenovo, and Etnair, which we are manufacturing in India, comes into place. Other than that, we are with FG Wilson, Indocrest, with Trimble. Tulip Compression is there for the compressing CNG for all the pumps which are there. So a lot of mining companies are also there with us. Then Progress Rail is there. So this is a complete solution provider which is catering to varied markets in India. If you see, we have got footprints pan India with manufacturing facilities, three places, two places, and then dealerships, warehouse, parts depot throughout India. Our facilities, if you see, we have got in Udaipur, Greater Noida, Guwahati, Kolkata, Asansol, and even we are catering to Nepal markets from India. This is Unnati, which is second in Asia, 17 globally, LEED V4 Platinum certified green buildings. And this is in Greater Noida. We have got overhauling centers, machine rehab, warehouse stocking, service engineers placed here. It's also where our management team sits. And if you see, we are giving 360-degree solutions, like apart from sales, parts, CAT certified, rentals, training, product support, everything we are doing from this facility. The second one is our facility in Asansol, where we are again doing servicing, and it is a 5-star rated workshop facility. We have also got our oil sampling lab here, and it is all a state-of-art component rebuild center as well. Our products in Gainwell, which we are handling, is all the CAT range of products, backhoe loaders, wheel loaders, skid steer, hydraulic excavators, graders, dozers. Then the mining equipments like the dozers, off-highway trucks, ADTs, then even the long wall mining systems, which we manufacture in our Panagarh plant. Then we have got the engine, the powertrain systems, DG sets associated with it, the gas generator sets. Nowadays, we are also in the hydrogen compression. So these are the new and green technologies which are being associated with Gainwell for almost 75 years now. So how do we do it? What are the smart things we are using today, and how are we transiting the whole process to a digital ecosystem? This is a when I came into Gainwell, I was as well surprised when seeing this, and this is the way it has to be going for the new business ahead. So the age of digital disruption, what you call, and innovation. So we are having the mobile application, then even the CAT parts and genuine parts is being done here through a portal. So most of the business is being done by the portal nowadays. If you see Gainwell's advantage, they are having a strong dealer network, and the CVA offerings, the parts warranty being done, extended warranty. Then we are giving a scheduled health sampling, machine rebuild capacity is there, timely auto alerted EM solutions, then applicable, the customer interface, mobile apps are there, Wanijya is there, or the e-commerce website, loyalty programs, 24/7 customer support, virtual assisted service. Then we have got our workshop on wheels, rental and used machine offerings as well. Now, when it comes to equipment management solutions, this is the the value proposition what Gainwell has. It is when you talk about the customer equipment maintenance, we are now shifting from reactive to the predictive asset maintenance. And our asset maintenance tools provide a comprehensive asset management solution. If you see this, we have shown that the impact levels and the planning efficiency, the maintenance maturity levels in this chart, wherein asset management and maintenance management are clearly defined. And it also shows that high cost and high time overruns, we are trying to overcome the impact levels and going ahead to the best in class. We are having this CAT Connect strategy. It is like linking all the equipments together. All the machines which are working on the site, they are providing information and they are communicating with each other. So we are having 13,800 connected assets, which are forming a 95% of the eligible fleet. So the data is received from these assets in our centers, where we do the conditioning monitoring, and then we leverage technology. How we do it is we are fitting these devices with different types of antennas, probes, and we are trying to connect, get the data, interpret the data, then reduce the cost and even risk associated with it. This is a system, the telematics helps us in the equipment management solutions, all the customer pain points which are there, like no real-time data which is available for the performance and quality of assets. So we want to give some solutions, technology solutions to the customers. So we use all these systems, the seamless digital lead management systems for the fault code management, asset tracking, fleet benchmarking reports, equipment inspection, even the fluids, the samples of oils, fuel and coolants, we monitor those on the machines. So this will help us get the best life of the system and the mechanical components. Then conditioning monitoring also is being done. Vis-a-vis, we do the maintenance execution to keep the critical assets running. Since we are a key contributor in the mining field, wherein the assets work for almost 20 hours, all these parameters are really very helpful to keep the cost of maintenance on the lower side, and it is like trying to keep the machines running and give us the highest productivity. Coming to the next range, this is where I am heading. We have got the Linov asphalt batching plants and the concrete batching plants. We are manufacturing these in India in Gainwell. The two factories are there, one in Asansol and one in Pune. So the different ranges of plants we are manufacturing. Now, this being the process plants, in these plants also we have got different probes throughout the plants which give us valuable data. We can connect these plants through SCADA systems to the whole laying sites and get important parameters recorded and feedback given to the system, which help us help the contractor basically improve on his efficiencies and reduce his cost. Other than these plants, we are introducing in India the Ednair range of machines, wherein they are microsurfacing and slurry sealing machines. So microsurfacing basically is like making the whole it's a machine which mixes sand and asphalt, bitumen, and it lays on the road. And slurry sealing is like it's a premix which you have to lay on the asset. So these two machines also we are manufacturing in our Pune factory for the global exports for Ednair Corporation. Other than this, we are also in crack sealing machines. Nowadays, you see a lot of road assets will require for the maintenance for the next 20 to 25 years. And proper way as per given in our any of our maintenance practices is first fill in the cracks, seal the cracks, then do maybe a micro or a slurry, or you can do the recarpeting or something. So all these machines again which are not made in India and which were bought or not even specified by the, like they were specified but not used by the contractors. So we are trying to get in these good practices, international practices in India. And the last machine which is there in the slide is the live bottom machine, which is a tipper, but it doesn't tip. It's basically a container which has got a moving bottom. It's a live bottom. So we are also going to manufacture this for the Indian market. It's a new concept here, and the floor is a moving floor. So all the asphalt material or even the aggregates will be transported, and when you have to unload it, it will not tip, but it will just flow out of the system. So this is a machine which is the need of the hour today in most of the construction sites, because when the tipper tips, it may lose the balance, it may fall on one side and cause accidents. So this is where we are getting this type of safety related transportation solutions, which will help us a lot going forward. So I will again, I will go to my next slide presentation. This is what Gainwell does. Now coming to the Trimble part, like why machine control technology? When we talk about India aspires to be of USD 5 trillion GDP by 2024. And we require high-speed execution at optimal cost and high quality. So this is where, as Mr. Amit had put in, we require, this is the need of the hour for us to use smart and intelligent technology to get the best out of our machines. So we have to, maximize returns on investment for the precious public funds which are utilized by integrating project design with machine control, significantly compressing the timelines, reduce overall cost of execution, and improving safety at site. Now, by adopting these technologies, it becomes a transparent process for the authorities, and everything being documented. The repetitive occurrence, or if you use it in a machine and it has got a repetitive thing, then human mistakes can happen, but the machine doesn't do these mistakes. So your quality improves a lot by using these tools. As shown, there are some slides which are repeating. So if you see like 50% faster design happens, compaction 30% saving, grading again 30% faster, survey savings is 55%, excavation 30% saving, model is again 25% saving. So you can see this by using our Trimble technologies. You can see most of the cost effective execution techniques are coming into play. So we are introducing, as Amit has said, I'll just go ahead. This is a 3D automated machine guidance system linked with the design software for construction. So Amit has already taken this surveying, preparing the workflow, roadway design, then data preparation and overall integration of AMG workflow process. Amit, then again is the same slide. I'll come to the graders. What we do is how we put in where all we adopt to a grader. You can see this. The wall package is put in the machine. Then the wall module is there, the power module to drive the whole thing. The operator display will have a visual connect on the full machine, what is happening. And when you put in all the required data, it will compare the XYZ axis coordinates as well as the actual road conditions, and then it will evaluate and it will guide the system. For getting all the data, you will have the radio communication and also the Trimble 2X Trimble receivers. These receivers are, if you see in the photo right next to it, they are put on 2 masts, which will take all the signals. So this is how grader, any grader, I am showing you a case grader, which is my competition machine, but we in Trimble have also adapted our systems to case graders, to other graders as well, and it is showing a tremendous result and cost saving for the contractors. Coming to compactors, you can see again that we are having stations which will be the receiving stations, the transmitting stations. If it is a soil compactor, then it will not have the IS 310 probes, which are used for the temperature measurements. If it is asphalt compactor, then the temperature measurement probes are also required. So this is where we can adopt the whole probes and the system on the compactor. Any compactor is okay for this. And paving, again, you can see how in a paver, normally paver we require a total station, whereas the other two we can do with GPS. Total station is required because in paver you require something like accuracy of less than 6%, 5 to 6%. Yeah. So basically that's why we are using a total station, and we can have a very accurate coordinates, positions put in input in the machine and output accordingly. So benefits of using this is faster execution, consistent quality, enhanced safety, environment friendly, greater transparency. This transparency thing is a boon today for the NHAI officials as well as reputed contractors. First were resistant, but once they started using, we are seeing a flood wherein people want to use this, and lot of site controls come into picture because of this, and overall cost is reduced by using these systems. Advantages to the authority, then advantages to the contractor, both are having. So we have put in small points saying that how authorities like monitoring the progress, getting as-built data, FRL can be stored digitally, progress can be monitored, grading, compaction and paving remotely can be done. So authorities sitting in their chair also, they can get all the data. Contractors again, they removal of the drawing errors. All stakeholders of construction team will be working with one drawing. Faster and accurate way to collect and store the digital records. Communication of design changes to all stakeholders in one command. Able to calculate volume remotely while result is better, and fast planning. Planning construction machinery in more efficient way, better optimization, of project cost, increase profits. Then we are showing with all the different machines again how is authorities and contractors benefited. So you can see again in these also consistent quality as per the IRC norms is authorities getting reduction in the carbon footprints, enhanced workplace safety, reduction in the cost of construction to better operational efficiency. Contractors again are benefited. 100% enhancement in the speed of grading and of subgrade and GSB. So all these things we have got actual data wherein we worked on the project in Lucknow. We saw a lot of savings in the OPEX, fuel operator maintenance, and real time it is happening. So even the manpower saving is there. Less manpower is being used for doing the same repetitive works. In compactors again, authorities as well as contractors are really getting good results. And I can tell you, we had done a project in Pune region. This is somewhere around 9 years back when SCADA system was first time introduced in an asphalt batching plant. And the compaction, compactometers were put in the compaction for measuring the compaction and measuring the temperature of laying. In that, the PWD Pune circle in charge had put a condition that no tender will, no bill will be passed without getting all the authentic data from the compactor and from the plant. Due to it, there were two advantages. One was the contractor was compelled to work with asphalt produced from the batching plant. The laying temperatures were adhered to as per our requirements of the MORTH specifications, and all the data was captured and it was stored on the desk of the executive engineer who was signing the bills. So when the bills were presented, he could see each and every truck if it is adhering to all the norms as required. Due to this exercise, the second advantage which so happened was the allocated funds for the financial year were fully utilized. If the whole system is in control and the speed and the progress happens as per the controlled environment, then you can really use all the funds and you can create a positive environment and execution of the projects in the region. So this is a very good example which I could see in my asphalt field as well. Now paving also, we have got road smoothness enhances, reducing fuel consumption. Then complex and tricky designs which have got slopes and super elevations and other things we can control with it. Easy and faster communication, safe working environment. Contractor rideability, then eliminate time consumption and costly manual setup. Setting up is a big challenge at site because if you see normally you can see cycle guys running over the string lines or cattle going across. So if you have everything as per your setup on the machine itself, you really don't require, and errors reduce. So we have taken some process differentiation between conventional and our systems. The challenges faced, like central line by the surveyor, fixing of pegs and rod, these are the conventional process. Profiling, checking of levels, profile correction and bed preparation. Whereas in AMG system, we are having fixing of base stations, selecting design and automatic profiling and bed preparation happens. So challenge is highway team is dependent on the surveyor. Chance of manual calculation mistakes, chance of disturbance of pegged roads. Accuracy is maintained only at stakes and uncontrolled adulations. And in AMG system, it is the limitation of GNSS. Or if you see some trees or something or buildings are coming in the way, then we will have. If the weather is cloudy or lot of rains are coming, then this will not work. So each they have got the positive and negative. And then the training of manpower is a big nowadays we are having schools for that, and we are doing at site at the local level with all the customer teams. We are doing a regular training. So we are also educating the customers and the staff for it. I will just show you a small film.
Station and any nearest TPM at change. Whereas in conventional method, highway engineers have to start with the total station or horizontal alignment. Then another team member transferred edge side points by using measured See the most one chunk has a whole point. Where it's marking, same laws in place. These levels are fixed on the states with the help of other levels as per the site plan sheet. Operator operators starts getting rated by breaking the keys. In the convention method, the operator breaks the key and where the technology operator, the operator breaks the key. And profile is done as from guidance received from the display national academy. The operator is either a full-time cut and fill data of the profile, and this is spread accordingly. In a conventional method, the operator has to stop each time, so the worker can check the levels, measuring wrong. Whereas with technology system, the determination of productivity achieved by using the technology method is 300 kiloliters per hour, whereas you can achieve only 100 to 120 kiloliters per hour using the conventional method. One can work day and night with the technology could agree to. Okay.
Thank you very much for listening to my presentation, and we are
Thank you.
ready to take we are ready to take any questions. Yes.
Fine, thanks, Abhijit. It was very exhaustive and illustrative presentation with the videos, and you actually shared the grounds and with the linking with the groundwork which you are doing. So thanks again. I don't see any question in the chat box as of now. I again request audience to ask if they have any doubt or any question they want. They can raise hand or they can put into the Q&A chat box in Q&A section. Just click on this. I think one question has just come. How somebody is asking how relevant is for police officers. No, I think he got confused. This is for the equipment for the construction site, isn't it? Vijit is asking, Mr. Preetpal Singh is asking, how relevant is for police officers in the Q&A. So it's
how it is relevant for police officers.
so it's basically construction site. If police is doing some construction work, yes, it is very useful. Otherwise, it's for the highway work.
Yeah. So, Pritpal ji, I would like to tell you that any police officers are the custodians of law and order and good practices throughout India. So I feel that these type of technologies will control lot of cost overruns and time and loss of revenue to the exchequer. So by that way, it is a very relevant thing for the whole police force.
Yes, very nice. Thank you very much, Vijit. So I don't see any other question. I think your presentation was so clear that everybody must have appreciated, understood it clearly. Same way with the Amit as well, and Mr. Sinha was talking about what the police force is doing and what he has done regarding data lake and the Navnetra drone use cases. So I think with this, we should come to an end. I thank our panelist, Mr. Vijit, Mr. Amit, and Mr. Amit Sinha for joining us, sparing your valuable time to share the ground insight, the upcoming technologies and your products and equipments and how it's actually revolutionizing and transforming the construction, especially highway construction industry. So thanks again, and thank you very much to our audience who has been continuously engaged and nearly they continue till the end. Thank you very much for such an engaging session. With this, listener, we should log off, and we'll meet with
Thank you very much.
third webinar of the series which we have started. Okay,
Thank you
thanks,
so
Amit.
much.
Thanks, Abhijit.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.